I want you to look at this room. Really look at it. $50,000 per night. This room costs $50,000 per night, and I cannot tell you, I genuinely cannot tell you what makes it worth that.
The sheets, maybe. The view. The fact that when the doctor walks in, he calls me sir instead of just a patient. I have been staying in rooms like this my entire life. Hotels in Paris, penthouses in New York, a private island in the Maldives that I visited exactly once and never returned to, a castle in France, $300 million that has sat empty for 4 years because I was always too busy to go. Too busy. That is the phrase that killed me. Not the cancer, not the blood that is slowly, quietly betraying me from the inside. Those are just biology. Those are just God's timing. What killed me, the real death, the one that happened long before these machines started keeping count of my heartbeats, was too busy. My name is Sultan Al-Rashid. I am 65 years old, and in the language of the world I have lived in, I am what they call extraordinarily successful. The House of Saud, you have heard the name. Perhaps you have seen the headlines, the golden cars, the diamond-crusted watches, the yachts that cost more than small countries earn in a year. The youngest among us purchased a Leonardo da Vinci painting, an original, painted by the hands of a genius 500 years ago for $450 million. He hung it in a room he visits twice a year. Saudi Aramco, the largest company on the face of this earth. Every drop of oil that moves through the veins of this global economy passes in some way through us, through our decisions, our signatures, our phone calls made from jets flying at 40,000 feet, while somewhere below, ordinary people filled their cars at ordinary gas stations and complained about the price. $1.4 trillion. That is what they say we are worth. 1.4 trillion. I used to feel something when I said that number. Pride, maybe. Power. The particular warmth that comes from knowing you have won, truly, completely, undeniably won the game that the world told you to play. Now it sounds like a number someone reads at a funeral. The doctor came this morning. Young man, brilliant. He flew in from London. I paid for the flight, the hotel, the consultation. I pay for everything. That is what I do. That is what I have always done. Pay for things and watch them appear. He stood at the foot of this bed, and he looked at my chart, and then he looked at me, and I saw it in his eyes before he said a single word. That particular softness, that careful architecture of a face trying not to show what it knows. Stage 4, blood cancer, spreading. He used medical words I will not repeat here because they do not matter. What matters is what came after the words, the silence, the specific quality of silence that fills a room when everyone in it understands that the conversation has shifted from "how do we fix this" to "how much time remains." Not much. That is the honest answer. Not much time remains. I want to talk to you. Not to the billionaires watching this, though God knows they need to hear it. I want to talk to every single person who has ever told themselves that they will slow down later, that they will be present later, that they will call their mother later, take their children on that trip later, tell their husband or wife that they are loved, truly, completely loved later. There is no later. I know that sounds like something you have seen printed on an inspirational poster in a dentist's waiting room. I know it sounds like a cliché. I said those exact words to myself 1,000 times and felt nothing because I was always certain that my later was real, that I was different, that the rules of time and mortality applied to other people, ordinary people, and that somehow, some way, my wealth had quietly purchased me an extension. It had not. I have a daughter, Noor. She is 33. She lives in London now with her husband, a good man, a doctor, actually, which feels like a particular kind of irony given where I am lying. And she has 2 children, my grandchildren. I have met them 4 times. 4 times in 5 years, because I was always traveling, always closing, always in a meeting that could not wait, on a call that was too important, flying somewhere that absolutely required my presence. Do you know what requires my presence now? This bed, this room, this machine counting my heartbeats like they are currency, each one precious, each one spent, each one gone the moment it passes. My grandchildren do not really know who I am. I am the grandfather who sends extraordinary birthday gifts, toys that cost more than their teachers make in a month, wrapped in paper they tear through in 30 seconds before running to play with the box. The box. I sent my grandson a remote control car that cost $9,000. He played with the box it came in for 3 hours. He did not need $9,000. He needed a grandfather to sit on the floor with him and make engine sounds and pretend the cardboard box was a race car. I was in Geneva that day, signing something. I genuinely do not remember what. I want to speak directly now, to the men like me, to the ones watching this from their private jets, from their boardrooms, from their yachts anchored off the coast of somewhere beautiful that they are too distracted to actually see. Listen to me. I know you. I am you. I know the way the deal feels better than anything else. I know the specific electricity of a negotiation, the high of closing, the morning when the numbers come in and they are better than projected and you feel for just a moment like you have beaten something, like you are winning. I know how easy it is to tell yourself that you are doing it for them, for your family, for the security that your own father could not give you. I told myself that story for 40 years with complete sincerity, and the story was entirely a lie. But it was not entirely the truth. The truth is that the work felt better than the discomfort of being fully present. The truth is that a negotiation has clear rules. You win or you lose. The numbers go up or they go down. And family does not have clear rules. Love does not have clear rules. Being a father, a husband, a human being, these things are messy and uncertain, and they cannot be optimized or delegated or solved with money. And I was not good with things I could not solve with money. So I stayed in the world where I was powerful, where I was needed, where I was the most important person in every room, and I let the other rooms go dark. The photograph on this nightstand. I have kept it face down since I checked in. I could not look at it, not because I do not love the people in it. I love them more than I have ever loved anything, and that is the most painful sentence I have ever spoken, because I showed it so badly. But because looking at it felt like looking directly at everything I got wrong. This is my wife, Salma, taken on our anniversary, our 25th. She is laughing at something I said. I cannot remember what I said. I remember the restaurant. I remember what the wine cost. I do not remember what made her laugh like that. She passed away 3 years ago. Heart attack. Quick, they told me. She did not suffer. I was in Geneva when it happened. I did not make it in time. I have replayed that morning every day since. I have moved it around in my mind, looking for the version where I am there when she needs me, where I am holding her hand, where the last thing she sees is my face. There is no such version. Some absences cannot be corrected with money or power or apology. Some absences simply become the permanent shape of your regret. I am going to die in this room. Perhaps in days, perhaps in weeks. The doctors are careful with their words, but I have spent a lifetime reading careful words and extracting the truth beneath them. Not long now. And I want to spend whatever not long remains saying the things I should have said when saying them would have changed something. To the billionaires, the ones with the golden cars and the private islands and the Picassos in rooms nobody visits, it is not too late for you. That is what I need you to understand. You are hearing this from a man lying in a $50,000 room who would trade every asset he has ever owned for the ordinary Tuesday evenings he spent in a boardroom instead of a dinner table. You still have time. Most of you still have time. Put down the phone. Cancel something that feels uncancelable. Walk into your child's room tonight, sit on the edge of the bed, and ask them what they are thinking about. Actually listen to the answer. Don't think about tomorrow's meeting while they talk. Be there, completely, uncomplicatedly, uselessly.